What's going on? I'm Cole. I'm joined here today with Blake, my co-host. Blake, how are you doing?
I'm
Before I
good,
even
man.
let you answer that question, though, you were about to say something, and I was like, dude, we're about ready to go, and we're gonna make it on time. And then you're like about to say something, and I just hit that intro, and I
I
did not
was
let
I
you
was
say it.
saying I was like, man, we haven't started on time in a minute, like setting records.
Yeah, so let's say hey to the chat, and then I'll ask you how you're doing again. We got Las Cruces all the way
What
from
up?
New Mexico. He's a little early. We got Marvel Matt over at Comics by the Bay. So I think he's still here because he just posted something like 4 minutes ago. So I hope he's here. Well, I'll just wait. Tell me if you're here because I've got something that I want to tell you. That's very. I don't want to type it out, and it's very obnoxious, but I think that you'll appreciate it. We got Larry Green Machine. What's going on?
What up?
Thank you for being that first like. How you doing today? We got Andrew Kai. Andrew Kai, how are you doing? All the way from Australia. So thank you for being here. Speaking of Australia, we also got
Mr.
Ronan the
Ronan.
Accuser. And since we're just on an Australia kick, we also got Whack Comics in the house. What is going on? Make sure that
Don't you
if you're
guys have jobs?
make sure if you're out there in the wild, why don't you just rip a comic book up for Whack Comics? And we also got Gary Woods. How's it going?
What's up,
We got
Gary?
Chaos and Comics. He's saying weird stuff, so that's
Yeah.
him. We got DA GR cards. Hey, how's it going? I love getting weird. Yeah,
We
so do
do
I.
too.
So all right, so Matt's here. So this is a story. I randomly said something to him today. He was talking about trucks. I made fun of Rangers, like the Ford Ranger, the little truck, and then he sent me a picture like this was my Ford Ranger, and then he sent me a new picture of a truck, and I said, hopefully that thing's got an eco boost, and then I stopped talking to him, and he left a sad emoji on that. So the reason that I always talk about eco boost is I used to work with this guy who was a truck guy, and by like a truck guy, he owned like a Ford F-350 that was like 1997. It was rusted out, covered in mud because he owned a farm and his wife had horses. So he used his truck for like truck things. And he
Okay.
hated people that just bought trucks and like would wash them every day or like lift them.
Oh
And
goodness.
we go to New Jersey for work. And my boss at the time had a budget card, but he had like the highest thing. So it's pretty much no matter what, he just gets to pick anything he ever wants. And they had a Ford EcoBoost F-150, and he got it so that when he picked that dude up, he just got so upset. Why did you pick this? We're in New Jersey. It makes no sense. Anyway, we just went on this tear about how EcoBoosts are the greatest motor of all time. And then
Hmm.
we found this video of one truck that's a Ford F-150 EcoBoost with a tow strap between like a Chevy Silverado and the Ford F-150 with the EcoBoost one. So we just kept saying like, see, it's doing the most truck-like stuff. And that was the story that no one really cares about. But thank you for listening through it. Blake, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. I wish my dad was here. He's got a F-250 six banger with the Eco Boost on it. So
Oh, and it's an
he doesn't even have a V8. But he actually got it for free, so you can't really complain. Like
yeah, you
his
can't
sister,
really.
his sister like retired and lives with her daughter. They were like, we only need one car, so she gave my dad this truck, and the truck has these like extra giant mirrors that stick out of it. And my
Oh, like
dad
for pulling a
doesn't have the
trailer.
best, yeah, my dad doesn't have the best eyesight. So like when he has to go, but he tapped a car with his mirror one time when I was with him, and like it was he or his insurance went up and he's been all insecure about it since. And so like dude, for a while he like wouldn't go through drive-through driveways. Like he flat out refused to. It's like because he just is in this like he's this little guy with this giant truck, and it's like it was free. But him and my buddy go fishing, and when my buddy goes hunting, like my dad will take the truck, and they bought like a deer thing for it so they can like put it. So he kind of does truck stuff with it, but anyways, it's an EcoBoost. Anyways, guys, we're switching up the channel tonight
we're,
because we
we're just
finally
full
got
of
a
Blake's
sponsor,
trucks.
and it's Ford. We're
Yeah.
making that Ford truck money, motherfuckers.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys like to eco boost into a good story because that's what we've got. Also, hey, cheers. I've got a drink here and yeah, hey, Ronan, he's got
Oh,
the
that's
earbuds
right.
in. Oh
Yeah, he
yeah, I
bought
forgot you got
earbuds
new.
to listen to YouTube shows. Nice. That's cool though, because I got new lights and a new camera, so I'm really glad you get to see it and appreciate it. I look damn good, Ronan. And my green scene works. Let's see how long it lasts before like that shit starts happening, but we'll see.
What's going on, Steve? How are you doing today, Steve? Also, what? Oh my gosh, one comic is destroyed.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Whack Comics. What's this thing about tearing
Uh,
up?
just go to their channel. You'll get very upset. Do you remember? Do
Sounds
you rem-
awesome.
do you remember when Nick went on a rant about how some dude took the "Something is Killing the Children" rare hardcover and poured acid on it?
No.
Because that happened on Whack Comics.
No shit? Okay. Let's party.
Yeah, it's funny. You'll like it. They're
Hey,
funny.
man, we eat weeniolies, they destroy comics. You gotta have your thing. You gotta find your niche and
Yeah.
celebrate it.
Yeah, no one did understand that, but hashtag EcoBoost. If you leave EcoBoost in the chat, and we get over 500,000 subscribers today. Ford said they may or may not give away
Yeah,
a Ford EcoBoost
a whole truck.
F-150. It might be a like small model version. It might be a real one. We don't know. Preferably, it's in purple
Yeah.
and like a rock.
Oh, like a
Yeah,
rock.
yeah. The show went off the rails before we even got on the rails today.
There's
Go
no
ahead.
rails anymore. We're a hovercraft of insanity. We don't ever touch the
What
ground,
is going
ladies
on,
and gentlemen.
Flash Ray? We got you. And yeah, thank you for dropping that eco boost in the chat so that when Ford comes through and they're like,
Yeah.
you know what? But here, I'll put the real thing down there. Make sure you put in mindset. We'll be giving this away. Also, for everyone down below, I have the link. It goes straight to Vault. I've never ordered a book
I have.
before from Vault.
I have.
But the kind of cool thing about it is that apparently you get an ebook with the paperback.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't get those when I ordered them. That's cool.
At least
I
that's
bought.
what the mindset, the complete series comes with. So, and it appears to be $2 cheaper than MSRP. I could be wrong. But hey, that's where we are. Uh Blake, how are you doing?
Dude, I'm solid.
You're the same as you were the last 3 times
There it
I've asked
goes.
you.
There it goes. Oh,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Oh,
God
yeah,
damn it.
yeah.
Stupid
Well,
green scene.
you're doing your best. Sorry, I shouldn't have asked you.
Yeah, there you
Third
go.
time's a charm.
There you go.
My fault. I blame this on it's my fault and the economy and the fact that Ford doesn't have multiple Ford F-150
Yeah.
Eco Boosts. They probably do. I don't really know. Why are we still talking about trucks? We're talking about a book today called Mindset.
In honor of Mindset too, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have a 3-hour and 14-minute live stream. It's gonna be
Yeah.
totally different than before.
Yeah, and what you need to do too is that in 3 hours and 14 minutes, make sure you come back to this video, watch it again. If you put hashtag EcoBoost in the comment section, there is a good chance that maybe Ford will give us a truck. Also, we got Comic Journey in there. He says language. I say, do you have any deets, sir? We got Old Wolf. How's it going, Old Wolf? Hope you're having a great day. And I've got this little Maker's Mark special blend here. I know you're a fan of whiskey too. We got Red 03. How's it going? Hashtag mindset. You haven't put that in there. And then we got Gilliam Barnaby. Thank you for stopping by. So mindset is a story. This is coming from Vault Comics, if you can tell already. This is written by Zach Kaplan. We got artist John Pearson, who actually does all the art. He does all the covers, and he even does the cover art. I don't know why I lost myself in that. And we got Hassan Otsame El How is the letter. I definitely mispronounced that. But if you want to say it
I
better,
think it's Atsmani, but I don't know how to say his last name. So
we got that. We also got Trev the Shipping Guru in here. So thank you for coming. Yeah, all these covers are sick. I only have this one. And I'll just kind of give you the quick blurb, and this is straight from Vault's website. It is The Cult of Control. Black Mirror meets The Social Network in this mind-bending sci-fi techno thriller mindset where mind control is only an app away for fans of David Eggers' The Circle and The Envy. So what are your thoughts over here before we get into some of the art and stuff? Overall, what is your thoughts on this book, Blake? Give me your quick thoughts, right?
I loved it. It's awesome. Like it's absolutely great. And it's oh man, they call it mindset, but it's a mind fuck. Why am I out of focus? This is
No, you
man.
just do this. You got to do this. And then you got to
And then,
But
hey,
yeah, there you are. And yeah, I
time out real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Your boy spent some bucks on production, right? And I still, the green scene still doesn't work.
I'm guessing that might just be a StreamYard thing. I've never actually attempted
I
that.
hope it is. I
So
hope it is. Anyways,
I
I'm
don't know.
sorry.
I'm trying to think. I know Remy Q Studios, he uses a green screen all the time, and I've never seen him have any issues with it. So maybe I'll reach out to him for you and see if he does anything fancy with that.
Probably should have just got a desktop though, for real.
Yeah, I don't know. I was actually thinking about this. You said give these guys a book they hate. I was thinking about it because there is a book that a lot of people seem to be reviewing that I have maybe open-endedly saying the first issue was the worst comic that I ever read. And at least if it wasn't, it was in the worst of 2022.
Oh, the Whatnot book?
But lots of people are reviewing that. I wonder what it would be like to review that. Anyway, this book, as Chaos mentioned, give them a book they hate. This was one of the books that was in my top picks of 2022. Issue 6 came out in 2023, but hey. The first 5 issues still are great. Also, I'm not sure if I ever read issue 5.
Interesting.
Because, I read this and I was kind of like, oh, you're saying Mom. I don't know if I
never read
Mom,
that.
But I didn't hate Mom. I get why people might hate Mom, but there's definitely worse things that I read than Mom. Mom's art was great. It was written by the Khaleesi.
Oh, Khaleesi, yeah.
So a lot of people, that was a book that had a lot of weird...
it was co-written.
Yeah.
It wasn't like someone big was co-writing with her and like no one ever mentioned them. I remember that. Was it Marguerite maybe or
Yeah, Marguerite, that sounds right. Which she's super hit or miss for a lot of people too, I feel like. But I love this book too. Mom Issues. That's a cliche.
The Whoopi comic.
What's the Whoopi comic? The worst. The worst that hasn't came out yet is Whoopi Goldberg is making a comic about something. Hopefully it's about... I didn't realize this, and let's just get off the rails again.
Let's do it.
I don't really think that in this episode, it's not our fault that we've got it off the rails. I'm going to purposely blame Zach Kaplan for writing this book, and he's made us go off the rails in reading this book.
You can't not follow the influence.
Yeah, we're just following the influence of this book. So any rant we go on throughout today or random tangent is because of that. But I went disc golfing with some guys and we were talking about something and they were like, oh yeah, that was around the time Ted Danson dated Whoopi Goldberg. And she said that he had a small penis. And I was like, that's something I didn't know was a thing.
I didn't either.
But apparently that was a thing. And then he came out and said like, well, it's not, it'd be like throwing a bratwurst into the Hoover Dam. I don't know. So
that's a lot of room for a bratwurst.
So this story was really bad. Rails are for douches.
He doesn't have a 12.4 inch tablet, I guess, is what we're trying to say. All right.
The new Batman Spawn book, it wasn't...
I heard people talking about that too.
It wasn't great, but the art alone, that's a hard thing.
How do you fuck up a Batman and Spawn comic? Like they both
like, because what are those
shit out of people?
Well, it's dumb because it's just like Batman's like, Spawn, why are you here? And he's like, I could ask you the same thing. And then it's like, well, maybe we should detect some stuff. And you're like, this doesn't really work. But
I would read that.
Oh, and that was a thing too. I think that Ted Danson mentioned, like,
my goodness,
there's some weird stuff. Go out there, look it up if you want to. This is probably weird.
If we get 20, if Cole gets 20 followers by tomorrow and I get 5 more followers by tomorrow, we'll do a Whoopi Goldberg special. Talk about Sister Act.
Sister Act 2.
Sister Act 2.
We'll review an episode of The View.
And some weird sex shit.
Yeah. And also this has to get over 1,000 views.
Yeah, something. Yeah. If this shit takes off.
But also make sure you come back 3 hours and 14 minutes later and rewatch it. Make sure that you put hashtag EcoBoost in the comments section.
Hashtag EverBoost. That's good.
But all right. So the idea, we didn't even talk about what this book is about, but we loosely have alluded to it.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is this book is, we even talked about the techno thriller. It mentions the social network. So what this is about is that these guys are in college and they create this app, and the app is supposed to be this meditation app. And the craziest thing about this is that we don't ever see any part of the app.
Mm.
Like, I mean, you see the fuzzies or whatever, the
Yeah, we
zap,
see the flashes.
but you don't really actually know what this app does
Yeah.
besides what they tell you, which is also kind of funny. But essentially what this does is it creates mind control. But the real question of it is, who's controlling who?
Yeah. That is a big question of the book.
I'm just gonna leave this here and not even read it out loud.
By the way, I made a weenioli again because I had leftover soft shell ravs and a hot dog, and I went 8 rav on the weenioli. I sent Cole a picture. It was, oh my, it was glorious. Like,
Yeah.
great the second time around. Like, I legit, I mean, like weenioli's. Now, again, you saw, when you use the better product, I still don't know if I could do the Chef Boyardee.
Yeah.
Um,
So
after Cole was just so
honestly,
excited about it.
I would say that if I used a beef hot dog, which also, leave comments down here. Let us know. Do you prefer the normal hot dog or the beef hot dog?
Yeah.
Because I feel like Matt over at Comics by the Bay. Yeah, I don't know. We're in a weird spot today. We've maybe been mind controlled. But I'm mentioning you because you made a weird statement when I had said it would be better if I use beef hot dogs. And he's like, you just don't always have beef hot dogs. And I don't know that kids like beef hot dogs.
Hmm.
And my
It's still a
buddy
hot dog.
hates beef hot dogs. I don't know, dude.
How can you hate? I mean, an old trashy hot dog has a place, right?
Yeah.
It's I still appreciate it.
Well, that's the thing.
Um,
I just have those. I usually burn the crap out of them, put a little bit of ketchup, a little bit of mustard, some relish, maybe cut up some onions, maybe throw some cheese on there. If I got some Skyline chili to put on top of it,
okay, I'd eat
let's
the
go.
shit out of that. Like, let's party.
Do you know what
That sounds
Skyline
great.
chili is? You into
I
that
I
Cincinnati?
don't know. I just know it's chili, like just chili
It's
on
a
a hot dog.
if so go to your local store. If they have Skyline chili in
I
a
was like,
can,
canned chili. Okay.
well, the canned chili is not near, you can only get this chili in Cincinnati.
Oh, well, then I doubt
It's
my store has it.
Well, that's the thing. You can get the can. I get it in Michigan,
Oh, okay.
so you can get cans of it in it. And some people hate Cincinnati natty chili. And there's like the weird thing. So it's a big. You ever been to, what's that place called? Steak and Shake. You know how
Yeah.
you can get chili on their
Yeah.
pasta. That's a Cincinnati thing.
Okay. Okay.
Also, dude, apparently I'm the only person
Yeah.
that is not into these beef things.
Just
Yeah,
like
dude.
bologna. Like, when I get bologna, I get beef bologna.
Dude, it's fine. I just put a little bit. I'm still kind of a child, so I can put ketchup on there. I mean, most of the time I don't, but like if I'm at home, whatever.
Dude, my soon to be brother-in-law is a chef, like a real deal chef, and he like has worked at a few restaurants, and now he runs like a hospital cafeteria, right? Anyway, this motherfucker can cook, and like when he's at home, he puts ketchup on everything. Like, he makes these like he'll cook, like when we have these like fancy dinners and shit, like real great fried chicken or fried fish, or like, man, he just smothers it in ketchup, and I'm like, what the like, what are you doing? You're like, it's crazy. Just loves ketchup.
We got Kenneth Bird in the building. What's going on,
What's up,
Kenneth
Kenneth?
Bird? We also got K-pop. What's going
What's up,
on?
K-pop?
K-pop, what are your thoughts on that I don't
Eco
know,
Boosts or beef hot dogs? Where we
Detroit
at now?
Detroit style Coney chili. It's a thing, along with Detroit style pizza. Those are things. I also
Detroit
didn't.
style pizza is the shit.
Well,
I'm with you.
all right.
Yeah.
I like Buddies. I'm a big fan of Buddies. Buddies is like the legit stuff. I do not like Jets. Jets just is super sweet sauce, so I'm not a fan of it.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
You know, they're both like, one's like a chain.
Oh,
Well, they're both technically chains, but one's like you can get it anywhere. You don't have Jets. I didn't realize Jets might be only like a Michigan thing.
yeah, nope. We have this weird place. So, okay, in Kansas City, this cult guys will talk about the book, I swear. There's there's this cult in Kansas City called the International House of Prayer, and it's like it's national now, but like it started here, and so there's all these like complexes around, and there's the I live close to I they call it IHOP too. So like there's the IHOP University, right? And next to this IHOP University, there's this place called Providence Pizza. And so like all these like church people, and it's like owned by religious people and stuff. And like, but it's some of the best pizza in town. And they have this Detroit style pizza, and it's the thick crust and the sauce, the cheese beneath it, sauce on the top, and then tons of these like great pepperonis, and then they put the dollops of ricotta. Oh my god, dude, it's so, and the crust is always so like perfectly crunchy. It's so phenomenal. They brew their own root beer, so like they have really good root beer too. It's a little magical little place.
I definitely always forget about this. One thing though, so if you put hashtag mindset in the chat, I just actually started the giveaway, and it looks like some people might be missed. So I just want to let people know, if you put it in, just put it in again. Also, somebody's telling us that we should be talking about comics. So
Yes.
all right, we'll get to comics. So let's get to some of the art. I've got a few of the pages. One of the things I dig this art. This art is definitely not like really many other books. There's a few books that kind of come to my mind that have similar art to this. It's nothing like this, but did you read, what was that book? Black of Heart. It was a Source Point
Oh
Press
no.
book.
Oh
That
wait,
had
yes. Yes.
the art. The art's
Sorry.
different than this, but it's similar,
It's got more
right?
photorealism in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
This
yeah.
this also reminds me of oh shit, Tynion's book, Department of Truth. Like it's
Yeah,
got
I
kind of
guess it
crazy
kind of
art
does
too.
that.
This
And look,
isn't as surreal. Like this is
yeah.
more detailed and clearer, but the use of colors and how the texture of the pages are very similar.
And the thing that's cool, this book has so many of these awesome splash
Yeah.
pages. And the one thing I'm going to do a shout out for is for Vault of Comics on there, or Vault of Comics is a comic book shop in Michigan. But for and it gets really hard on social media, but Vault Comics is the brand that wrote this book. Their press reviews, they actually make this one page. So you don't have to like scroll between it. If you're reading the digitally, it's just like slide over. It's very nice. For
Hmm.
me personally, with a small tablet, mine's not 12.4 inches, but yeah. So that's a thing that I just wanted to say out there. And there's so many of
God,
these
it's
good
beautiful.
splash pages. But yeah,
Also, the lettering is like the design, like some of the lettering like takes you around the splash pages too, and like man, it like coils, and there's like a path which to follow a lot of times. Like it's very because this is a wordier comic at times than some, because I know a lot. I don't, but I know a lot of people like. I mean, that's why some writers are critiqued, right, when the page is full of words, and so like sometimes the way they design it makes the page more clear, but I mean it's a joy to read. Like the prose and the dialogue is all great. But yeah, it's cool. Like Hassan really gets to exercise his lettering here. And I love like we see right now, like these squared off thought bubbles and the kind of scraggly hair like tails. I don't know, it all works and builds like a really great vibe.
yeah, and the thing I think that you kind of don't necessarily get with these first few pages, you can kind of see it with the guy over here on the left in the top. He's got his shirt's kind of like whited out, right? There's certain things where that stuff comes into play, right? When the app starts building, certain times there's like a frame where a person's talking and they're like no color, just like it reminds me of that Take On Me music video, where it's
Mm,
like it's just this like box, right? Where they're in this, and the next panel, that person's in color, right? But there's a lot of this weird stuff that goes on that I think is like the art really, really shines. And unfortunately, you get some good stuff here, but you don't get a lot of the great stuff that I think this book really has in it. We did see a few new people show up. So I'm going to give some more shout outs. We got Chop and Drop. How is it
what up?
going? We got Entropy in Comics. How's it going, Kevin? Hopefully you are having a great night. Kind of scrolling. There is a lot going on in the chat tonight. So thank you,
Chaos
everyone
has
who is
left
there.
like 5 times,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. He's
Ping me when you go back off the rails. I mean, we're loosely always off the rails. One of the things, too, we kind of talk about it on this show a lot. Maybe I'll throw up this little blurby derb thing here. We kind of talk spoilers, but at the end of the day, this is some huge spoilers. Like, the end of this gets kind of wild. It gets kind of crazy, right? We're
Mhm.
definitely not going to go into those. We're going to talk about the general idea of this. As we've kind of said, there's this app. It's kind of designed by these 4 people, right? They're leaving college. They're trying to do it. I mean, when you leave Stanford, I think that's the idea, right? You have to get your hand in something. And if you're getting in those types of degrees, I think they mentioned it here where Silicon Valley, they're all trying to get out there and do that. It's kind of interesting too for me as somebody who does work in IT, like seeing some of this stuff happen and like unfold is pretty crazy. I also missed, I think, where'd you get that? So got you now, but I don't know. It's weird. I love this book. I can't describe how good it is in
Yeah,
words
it's very
enough.
different.
And
It's like different even for like Vault's had some killer stuff, right? But this is one of the standout Vault titles, which is saying a lot. Like in the if you did like a I'd be hard inclined to look at like a top 10, maybe even a top 5 Vault titles and have this not be there.
I don't think that this would not be in a top 5 vault titles. I don't know. I don't know that I could name 2 other titles that I would probably maybe put in contention with it
Yeah. It's
from
great.
Vault. So, and I've read a lot of Vault books. So,
Yeah.
I'm going to drop a link in the chat here. This is for Pull List Examiner. He does a weekly video where he talks about his pull list. And the reason why I'm shouting him out is because without him, I would have never read this book. He kept talking about this and he talked about Zach Kaplan specifically because he said Zach Kaplan he loves sci-fi and he's becoming one of his favorite sci-fi authors. So other books you might know from him is did Eclipse, Port of Earth, The Lost City Explorers, Join the Future, Breakout, Metal Society, Forever, and Forward. So this guy has done a ton of great stuff.
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to sci-fi, he has kind of became the writer. So yeah, it's really wild to see. So
Like
yeah,
the sci-fi writer in comics right now.
I mean, I don't know. A lot of people like him.
No, I love him. I was just like, that's a
I
bold,
don't
that's a
know. I
bold
guess I don't.
statement.
I
Like,
don't read a ton of sci-fi.
I
It's like up. And that's weird, right? My favorite book is Saga, right? And that's sci-fi, but that's also very different from most other sci-fi books, right? So this is, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't read sci-fi as much as other people, but he is one of the
no,
people that I
I
hear
mean, I
people
would,
talk about in that space.
it's
So
an argument. It's like a good argument to have. Like, I'm not disagreeing with you. I just like, it's funny. Like, I just didn't think of him like that until you just said it. And
yeah,
like, it doesn't ring untrue.
yeah. And we also got Firebird the Nerd. Hey, thank you for stopping
What
by.
up?
Chaos Does Rock. And yeah, thank you. I'm not sure if you subbed to me or you subbed to Pull List Examiner, but either or, those are 2 great channels to probably be a part of. Oh, he said Bablet is another great sci-fi writer artist. I'm not sure that I know. I guess
Yeah.
Mark Russell,
Mark
but
Russell
like,
right now. Yeah.
I guess the books that I usually think of too is like Second Coming doesn't seem sci-fi to me. Is it
No,
sci-fi?
I mean, well,
I guess I
I
don't read
mean,
it. He's
super.
writing Travel to Mars or
Yeah,
whatever.
traveling to Mars and the new Superman book he did was borderline sci-fi.
Oh, which I just got the hardcover version of that.
I wanna get it. I wanna get it, but I have the DC app. Like, now every time I want a DC hardcover, I'm like, "You have the app."
Well,
Like,
that's the thing. I bought this. I pre-ordered this from Gmart
uh,
before I got the app.
and we
Did I
got
lose you?
someone. No, sorry. I
Oh
was
yeah,
reading.
you're reading Old Wolf. You
I
want to
like
get
how
back
I
to
read the
pizza?
comments on your show, but
Yeah.
not on mine. I mean, this is our show, but on your channel, like I just like I don't know. The chat moves so much more in here, so I try and keep an eye on it. Whereas like mine, it's no one likes me, no one talks to me. No, it's not that, but like people usually are just listening, and their comments aren't as common.
Yeah.
And then when they come, I ignore them anyway. So that's probably why people don't talk during my show.
Yeah, I'm always like asking, like, "Hey, can you ask this guy something real weird that you definitely don't want to ask this guy?" But yeah, and once again, thank you everyone for who was here.
Yeah,
So
thanks.
I don't know that I've had Rhode Island pizza or Massachusetts pizza, but I think what's the Massachusetts? Are they the one that does the Neapolitan? Is that their thing? I'm pretty sure that's their thing.
Is that where you have the strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate
No,
ice cream? No.
I don't know exactly about it, but I've watched enough shows with Guy Fieri on it that I know about the Neapolitan.
Hmm. What's it? Now I'm curious. Now I'm hungry. I'm fucking hungry,
Yeah,
guys.
dude. Also, I learned today that if you want to reheat pizza in an air fryer, 4 minutes, 400 degrees seems about perfect
Mm.
as you can get.
You coming off of that less hate air fryer? Because the other day Cole said he was like,
No,
I kind of you were like, what did you say? You were like, I like and don't like the
no,
air
I think
fryer.
I said I think I like the air fryer. I I both like and dislike
Yeah,
it
that's what it was.
more than I thought I would. Because, like, I don't know, everyone was like, "It's gonna change the game for stuff," and it's like, at the end of the day, when I, like, made pizza or chicken nuggets in it, like, they weren't that much different than a chicken nugget out of the oven. The
Yeah.
difference is it took half the time, and I
Yeah,
didn't have to
because
preheat it.
it circulates air. Because you know, if you cook, here, cooking hack, ladies and gentlemen, you get like a baking sheet and put a cooling rack on. Like if you have like a stainless steel or oven safe cooling rack, like what you put cookies or baked goods on, you take your tray and put that cooling rack on it. And like when you cook like frozen chicken, or even like if you're baking chicken or like safely breaded stuff, or wings, it's really good for wings. Like the heat circulates under it, similar to an air fryer. It just like Cole said, it takes longer because nothing's actually like circulating the air, but because you elevate them off the tray, the heat gets under them better. And
Yeah.
that's if you don't have an air fryer, you can kind of like make one in your oven. You just have to cook it at regular oven times because it doesn't have that fan blowing the hot air. So
Ah, that's an interesting thing. As for this question about are pizza ovens worth it? I'm gonna tell you this, if you had
God,
a
I want one.
Traeger, you can put a pizza in a Traeger, and it kinda adds some of the same stuff. The only difference is the crust, it might be hard to use real dough.
How hot does it get? Because a pizza oven gets like 600, 700, 800
The
degrees.
most you can do it is like
Okay.
450.
With if you have a Weber, you can get a pizza oven converter for like a Weber style grill. That still doesn't get up to like the 800 degrees. It's hey, this was a comment from the chat, so I can tangent. The Our last Super Bowl party, my sister's best friend, this guy Tim, he like his hobby, like we collect comics and do YouTube videos and shit. He makes fucking pizzas. He nerds out on it. He makes the dough. He bought one of those Uni propane outside pizza ovens, and like the dude just loves making fucking pizzas. And so he came over and he made a bunch of homemade pizzas in the Uni for Super Bowl. And dude, since then I want one so bad. Like they're so freaking cool. And I've seen YouTube videos like people building them with bricks in their backyard, and they make it look so easy
Yeah.
till you like really get out there and start laying fucking brick. Like that's like hard labor. And I know it's a little thing, but I mean, you're talking hours and hours of work, and like who's got the time? I gotta fucking interview people and manage social medias and have a show where we don't talk about comics.
I do love laying brick, and also, hey, the
I
matter
love,
spec, how's it going?
do love laying. There, that's another great T-shirt.
What?
You get the soft shell wrapped, and then I
Do
love laying brick.
just
Whole
a
reason.
singular brick on this thing. So, I wish
Get Ignacio to like draw you with one of those like spade slather things. That's not the technical term.
we're gonna now you are now
Brick
changing your
and
name to
Cole lay
Brick.
brick. I
Yeah, I
love
mean,
laying
that's kind of where I was going, but then I didn't. Also,
laying.
air fryer sandwiches is not something that I've tried before.
Yeah,
So
dude.
here's the thing.
Grilled cheeses.
What do you do? Like,
Oh,
what kind of sandwich? We're just putting like deli meat on there. Like,
you
I mean,
can
obviously,
think of it like getting a toasted sub at Subway.
first and foremost, I don't really go to Subway because it
Oh
makes me
well,
barfy.
sorry.
Hey, you know.
I don't eat dog shit sandwiches,
Yeah,
Blake.
sorry. I at least go to Jimmy John's and I get untoasted dog shit sandwiches.
Yeah, Jimmy John's does make a good sandwich. Terrible people own it, but they make
Yeah.
a good
Well, I
sandwich.
don't even think that dude owns it, and also I think every Jimmy John's is a franchise.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, at the end of the day, it's just a small business owner in my local area that I'm trying to support.
But yeah, it makes a real good grilled cheese, air fryers do.
All right. Well, hey, you
Anything with
bake in
bacon
an
on it.
air fryer? What are we baking in an air fryer?
And dude, it does everything, man.
I'm sure you can do a
You
baked
need to
potato though.
yeah,
But like, I
yeah.
mean, like, are we baking bread? Or
Not
are
yeah,
you making like a
like baked
cake?
goods. Yeah, you can
You
do
can
like a
put a
little tiny cake.
so here's the question though. Do you have the like one that looks like a toaster oven?
Yeah,
Or
I
do
hate
you have the
mine.
one
I
that
want
looks like a
yours.
bucket? Because
Yeah, I
I've
want
got
the
the one.
bucket.
The one thing about the bucket though is it's like you can only do 2 pieces of pizza at a time, and 2 pieces of pizza pretty hard to fit in that bucket. And I
Yeah.
got the big bucket.
Well, if you have the air fryer one, they're like, you have all these shelves. And here's
Yeah.
the thing: you put shit on the bottom shelf, the air does, so you have to rotate them on the shelves. So there's just no there's no perfect and no matter how big an air fryer you get, like that's just one of the deals. It doesn't cook a lot of food simultaneously, but the buckets, at least, like if you do like nuggets or wings or pizza rolls and stuff, you can kind of fries, you can dump them in there and shake it a couple times while they cook, like, and that seems to do it. But yeah, the shelf one, man, the top shelf is the only thing that really gets it. And then if you put more shit on the shelves, it decreases the airflow, and it doesn't cook right.
So
Blake
K-pop
and
has
Cole
gone
review
off
an air
the rails.
fryer,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
So she apparently started with a 5-quart bucket and moved to the oven. So maybe you don't want the 5
Oh
quart.
yeah, that too. You can get a. Oh wait, like I thought maybe she meant like because you can buy like an actual stove that's an air fryer now, like for your kitchen, like a full size stove.
I don't know.
Mm. It's probably more if you think of like area.
Yeah, I mean like square footage.
Yeah. How big are these 2 slices of pizza you're trying to put in there, Cole?
Monster pizza. Yeah, so this book is also 6 issues. So this is I think what we did one 7-issue book,
Yeah.
Gatsby, or was that 6?
No, and the weird religious book Jay Lee
Oh,
did was
7
7
Sons
issues.
had to be
Yeah.
7 issues, didn't
Yeah.
it?
So yeah, we've done a lot of 6 issue stuff,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know.
So I'll get back. I'll show this dude. I love this stuff. Like, and I don't know, it's weird. There's so much stuff that changes, and you don't
Mhm.
really. The greatest thing about this book is you kind of still like. I've read it twice. I feel like there's certain things where I'm like, I bet if I reread this, I'd see this
Yep.
different. The second time around, I definitely saw things different because I kind of remembered, but I forgot the ending part because I don't know.
Mhm.
I consume a lot of books and sometimes I just kind of forget
No,
after
same.
reading things. So it's like I kind of forgot it, then I remembered it again, and I was like, oh, I love this book. It is so good.
I forgot about the battle for control, right? That when it
Yeah.
like the who done it parts kind of where and then it's like who did what and who's in control of who and like who set the looping and stuff. Like it's such a cool take on mind control, and it's so intelligent in the way it's written and composed and just how real Kaplan makes this all feel, which is awesome because if it juxtaposed with this art that has a dreamlike, weird, the colors set like a very loose and uncontrolled mood, right? Which is he's controlling your mood, but it makes you feel like soft and comfortable, and there's a lot of cool, it's a mostly cool color palette, so it's like it's the colors make you feel very relaxed, which coincides with the narrative of being like this app for meditation that like deletes and replaces the influences that
Yeah.
you have. And it's, I don't know, man, everything, this should have been on the fucking Eisner list.
It probably should have.
Yeah, like I mean, like yeah, I'm not gonna,
I
yeah,
would
it
say
should have
this is
been there.
easily. I mean, it's hard. There was a lot of good stuff. I think like Human Target was a book I really liked a lot last year. I would probably put that up there. This is definitely one of those books. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know that there was and granted, I'm gonna probably hate myself after I say this out loud, but like, I don't know that there was like a breakthrough horror book that I loved last year.
Mhm. I
Um,
can't, I mean, there's a lot of horror. There's a lot of horror all the time. I
Yeah,
forget.
yeah, and then but like, like I don't know, like a few years ago, like Hotel was one of those books for me
Yeah,
where that just hit me. The year before that, it was like Dead Dog Bite.
I need to
Dead
read
Dog's
that too.
Bite. I think this is one of those books for me where it's good. And the thing is too, it kind of leaves it open-ended for more, but
Mhm.
I don't think we'll ever get more. And I think that's perfect in this.
Yeah.
Like it's weird to say that you don't want more of a book, but it's kind of like, when I left the first Matrix, I remember I was like somewhere between the ages of 13 and 15 and being like, this thing was freaking sweet. Like, that's the coolest movie I've ever seen. And then I never saw another one because I was like, I feel like that had the perfect ending. Why'd they keep doing it? And from what I've talked to, most people agree with me that not
Yeah, I
seeing
don't.
any more is probably a good idea.
They're all fun in their own way. I mean, there's stuff you could hate about every movie, but I mean, like if you like The Matrix 1, like you're gonna get more of what you like. I now I'm a giant. I just realized I'm a giant fucking hypocrite because I forgot about the new Matrix. I haven't watched the new one, which was also a lot of people
Well, that's it.
disliked.
I think that's where people are like, they shouldn't have made any more because this is a part of the more.
Yeah, but I feel like Keanu did it for a reason, right? Like he doesn't need money. And he's like
Yeah.
he's got 5 or 6 more John Wick movies to make. So like, he didn't have to do the Matrix. There's so
6 or
much
8
pizza
slices.
talk in the chat. You
Yeah,
guys
I
are
know.
killing
You
me.
gotta
I'm
answer
so
it 6
hungry.
or 8. I
8.
I
Is it a
I'm gonna
big
do,
pizza?
but yeah, but I do like a big slice. Sometimes I could go, but so if it's just cheese, I'm gonna say 6. But if we're covering it in toppings, I'm saying 8.
Hmm. Don't I'm pretty sure the big 18-inch New York pizza place I go to here, Mama Leone's, cuts it
It's
into 8
6.
pieces.
No,
Is it
they're
really?
6. They're if it's like New
But it's
York
in
style,
half.
it's a big old size. No, cut it in half and then there's 3 on each side.
That doesn't sound right.
Check it out.
I
Check,
gotta go.
check. So if you
I
go
gotta
to
get a pizza.
if you
I'm
go
s
to if you go to the Domino's and you get the
Oh,
Brooklyn style pizza, comes in 6 slices.
I don't like Domino's. We used to get it a
Yeah.
lot. We used to get it a lot, and then it started getting a lot more misses than hits at
Yeah. I
the
mean, that's
old
pretty much any chain pizza
Domino's.
place in my personal
The
opinion.
Domino's have fallen, I guess you
Yeah.
could say. And the result was not impressive. Remember that little crazy dude that used to be on the commercials? The little
Oh, the
monster guy?
Noid?
Yeah, the Noid. Good times.
I think he had a video game on
Yeah,
Sega.
he did have a video game. That's
And
crazy.
which is crazy, like, I was talking about this at work. It's so crazy to think of how, like, innovative Sega was and how they just did not succeed. Like, so my brother played basketball in high school, and they had the, like, party for the parents or something around
Okay.
Christmas, and the family who we went to, their, like, dad owned, like, a building company around here. They had Sega Satellite. I don't know if you guys remember this, but you could you hook your Sega up to a satellite and you could just rent a game.
What? That's not real.
Dude,
I've never heard of
it
that
is.
before. Never
And
heard.
like
That's
Sega
crazy.
had Sega CD before
I remember
disc
that.
game where you just plug it on top.
Game
I mean,
Gear. Game Gear was the best like
oh,
one of the best handhelds for a
color,
while, but it
color
lost out to
bigger.
Game Boy. Yeah.
Yeah, like there it was so much better. I remember my dad just bought one and it was like, oh well, we don't have Tetris, but we got columns.
I remember a kid. I remember being in kindergarten. Like, oh man, what was it like? It was like No, it was like grade school. Is when that because Sega came out around kindergarten time. Like I remember this kid brought a Game Gear to school, man, and I've never felt a jealous rage like that before. Like I'm pretty sure like childhood me was like you could just hit him with something and take it and run. And I was like, why am I thinking like this? Like I've wanted it so bad. Like it was just the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
That dude was great. I miss him. Also, Little Caesars. I'm from Michigan, so I like
Little
it.
Caesars is awesome.
I
We
will
just
say
got
that
one.
they're the only
Crazy bread.
they're usually the only like chain pizza we get because it's my
Yeah.
daughter's favorite. And it's also like we can get 2
Smart
pizzas
girl.
and crazy bread for like $25.
$3. No, crazy. I can eat crazy bread till I puke. When I get Little Caesars pizza, I get like one pizza and 3 orders of crazy bread. I'm a sad man. But that yeah, they we just got one by our house, and every time you pretty like if you just try and swing by for a hot and ready, like it's impossible. They're like, yeah, we'll get you one in 30 minutes. And it's like, oh, and you can't
Yeah.
order hot and
You gotta
ready's
get the app.
online. Oh, really?
You can get the app and just do it on the
I
app.
didn't see hot and ready's on
It's
the app.
just called like I don't know what it's called, but it's just the basic one.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's either good or cardboard.
Yeah,
Dude, people hate it and I get it, but like yeah,
it depends on the store. Yeah, but their garlic parm wings are pretty solid. And when I was a kid, remember back when like Little Caesars used to give you square pizzas? Did you guys ever go like the original Little Caesars pizza, like way back in the day? All
I
their
don't
pizzas
remember
were
that.
square. Like they had these square thick crust pizzas, and you got 2 of them. Like if you got like a large, so you got like 2 pizzas, and that there was a special where they made pepperoni crazy bread, and there
They
was
do that.
pepperoni. What?
Not crazy bread, never mind. It's like another kind of bread. I'm sorry.
Oh my god. I was about to leave and go get it. I was about to see everybody. Blake's got to get fat. But no, like they in the crazy bread, like there would be 4 or 5 pieces of pepperoni baked into that. So the pepperoni grease would kind of spread out into the oh my god. Oh, it's so good. So good. It's fucking the future sucks, guys. It's just everybody's under control of their
Mind
phones and
control. And you
mind
don't really know.
control. You don't get pepperoni into crazy bread.
We definitely got sidetracked a little bit, but one of the things that I wanted to get to when you were kind of talking about this is that the thing that you kind of get from this book, though, in a world where everyone is on their phones so much and people
Yeah.
like look at their phones, you like start to wonder, like, is this real? Could this be
Hmm.
happening? Is this happening? Did I
Well,
did I have to play a game of Marvel Snap like
there's
right before
definitely
I decided to walk to the bathroom?
yeah, there's definitely I mean, and there's visual cues, audio cues, there's all sorts of hypnotic elements in advertising. Like
Yeah.
the words used, like I mean, people research like sounds and stuff, especially for these mobile games where you like I can still hear Final Fantasy VII's battle music, right? And whenever I want to and so it's just you get addicted to these things kind of, right? And social media apps, everything, no, like the way things look, the way the phone feels in your hand, the weight of it, the colors, like all these things go into product research and marketing research, and they are very much making us addicted to these elements. So it's this book is a big commentary on, yes, like the lives we live. Like, I mean, you guys, it's not an accident where like sometimes you're laying in bed and you're scrolling through TikTok videos or YouTube shorts, and all of a sudden it's like it went from like 11:30 to, oh my god, it's 12:30. Oh, it's 1
Yeah.
o'clock. Like, oh, I'll watch 2 more videos. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. What the fuck happened to me? You're like lost in a content hole, in this spiral that like kidnaps you momentarily. And that happens on purpose, right? And now all of us want to be part of that spiral, like, right, we all want to make those, we want to make those shorts that get all those views, that get those people stuck to their screen, right? So we're addicted to it. And part of the problem, this book will mess with your head as a content creator. Like, you'll just be like, what am I doing? And wait, how can I do it better? How can I manipulate my audience to like do what I want? And it's awesome. We
Dude,
love
and
you
so
guys though. Thanks for tuning in.
yeah. One of the first books that we reviewed was called Mind Management Bootleg. And that
Mhm.
also kind of played off the
Yeah.
idea, but it was more so meme based, right? It definitely is a commentary on people being on their phones and doing stuff on their phones, but it was more meme based, where it seemed like that was definitely a lot more like, for lack of a better term, cartoony, I guess, where like
Mhm.
this doesn't seem real because there's like actual secret government agencies doing this. But this book, like this seems like something that could be maybe happening. I want
Yeah.
to say what's up to Couchin' and Slouchin' with C Bizzle. I definitely couched and slouched this weekend a good amount. We got Nornrad. What is
Norn
going on,
Rad.
Nornrad? How are you doing? How is outer space right now? People are asking in the chat, yeah, what kind of pizza do you guys like? Also, this is what are the chances that pizza sales rise because of this episode? So this is
How
a
many
thing.
products have we joked about though that
Yeah,
like, think about that. Like we've talked about Ford, we've talked
yeah,
about pizza chains, we've talked about a chili brand.
yeah.
Like,
Just remember, if you get
that's
a Ford
crazy.
F-150 with an EcoBoost, you can make it to your local pizzeria faster than if you just did a standard Ford F-150 because you can accelerate faster and therefore go faster. And that's the joy of the Ford EcoBoost. Once again, if we get over 50 500,000 views
500,000 views.
and
Hashtag EcoBoost.
you leave Hack of EcoBoost, there's a chance that maybe we can convince Ford to at least give you a model of a Ford
Yeah.
F-150 EcoBoost.
And also, if everybody calls their local Domino's and asks
Yeah.
to speak to a manager and says they should bring back the pepperoni crazy bread, there's
Wait,
a
was
good
that
chance we
Domino's or
can
Little
have
Caesars?
Little Caesars. I mean, don't call Domino's about that. They won't know what the fuck you're
Yeah,
talking
tell Domino's to call
about.
Little Caesars about it.
Oh, we got a pineapple. Man,
Pineapple and chicken.
everybody's talking pizza. I love this. Pineapple chicken. That's interesting. Have you guys seen the? I don't know his name, but he's been taking like fast food. He makes like crazy pizzas. Like he made a Popeyes
Oh, yeah, yeah.
pizza.
And
He
he
made
gets
like a
sad
stuffed crust
sometimes. Did you
mac and
see the one that he
yeah,
made? Like, what was it? He did squid pizza, and he
yeah.
got squid from like Olive Garden.
Oh my
I'm
god.
a thin crust dude. Oh, well, but that I also like Detroit style, which is kind of thick crust,
That
but
is
I
very
don't
thick crust.
really like. So my brother-in-law lives in Chicago, so we eat Chicago style pizza occasionally.
Mhm.
I'm not a
Casserole, yeah.
huge fan of it. It's not my
I
thing.
like it. I like it. I would like to have a real one day too, like,
From
hashtag
Chicago, yeah,
mindset. It
yeah.
looked like we had 76 issue or entries for a second. I was like,
We have
"Good God."
16, yeah. And we've been sitting at mostly 20 viewers throughout this whole thing. So if you're out there and you don't do it, make sure you add in
Yeah, put a
hang
little
there.
hash put a little
Put
hashtag
I
mindset.
I I mean, I'm gonna say we're at that like 50-minute mark. That's usually when we kind of start doing our reviews. I think
That sounds like that's true though, because like, it takes about 50 minutes for us to get to the comic book these days.
and by reviews, I'm saying like what we rate it. We rate
Yeah.
it. We bring the ratings because you demand it, and it pisses Blake off. And if there's one thing I want to do, if there's one thing that he gets for taking the show onto random rants and side tangents, pretty much he took it, and I wanted to make the show go a different way, and I've just embraced the side tangent at this point. He used to apologize every episode for side tangenting in, and now he didn't. But hey, uh I don't know. You
Gotta
went
give the people what they want, man.
I think you went first last week, so maybe I'll go first this week. And I'm gonna probably make you maybe rethink your entire process of today.
Oh shit.
I love this book. I love everything about this book. I think the art is really good. The one thing I will put is my asterisk to this review is if you only like standardized superhero comic books,
Grow up.
I can see you hating the art in this, right? Like if
Yeah.
you only like standardized kind of art, this is not I can definitely see that there are going to be people in this world that read this book and hate this art. I know that that's a thing. This art is a little bit more like an eclectic taste, but I think it works so well for this book.
Yeah.
Like I think that this is the perfect art for this book. And I'm going to say that I think this book is almost a perfect book overall. It does in 6 issues what I don't think a lot of people can really do, right? It gives you a story that is concise. It gives you a story that like this isn't a book that you can just you're not going to you might be able to sit down and finish this in an hour, but like you're going to be reading fast to finish this book in an hour, right? Like these, usually each issue of this took me about 15 minutes to read, maybe even a little bit longer. I know this is the only book that I was reading up until today. I had to read an issue before we went live because it just took me longer than these normally take. But I'm going to give this on my rating. We do these out of 5. I'm giving it a 4.99.
Damn. Damn. Coming in hot.
I would
Man,
say that I have been
Colt
taking
4.99. The prime science fiction writer in comic books right now. Like I love Cole's love for this book. Like I'm
And
inspired by
science
it.
fiction is probably one of my, I would say high fantasy and science fiction are 2 things that are really hit or miss for me. But when you're doing it right, which I
Yeah.
think this book does, it hits so hard. I think this book does everything. And it also has that weird little techno itch that I get. And yeah, dude, the art is kind of like an
Yeah.
LSD trip, but that's the thing. This
Hallucinogenic.
whole thing is supposed to be kind of this like, you know, this mind controlling fantasy, what's real, what's not real. And the art really almost makes you feel like you're a part of the journey that they're going through. And like, I don't think that there's really a flaw in this book. I know that there are probably people that are going to say that there are, but for me, this is just a book that I think hits perfect.
So what is holding off that point zero one? What is
I
keeping
just
you?
want to be a fucking dickhead. Like, I don't, and we've kind of given like arbitrary ratings, right? Like, I think we've always done extra decimal points just for the
Yeah.
sake of
Yeah.
being like that. And giving a book a 5, right? Is I would say the fact that I know people are going to hate this art. This book, like my definition of a 5 is like every single person that reads
It's
comics should like this
impossible to
book.
not like it. Okay.
And I would say that I know that people aren't going to like this art. I know that there are going to be people that do not like this art.
Okay. Well, I don't like those people.
Yeah, I mean, they
Just
can
kidding. I'm just
and that's
kidding,
the
but
thing,
it's
art
cool. It's
is
so
one of those
great.
things, right?
It's
Where it is
subjective. Yes.
yeah,
It's
it is subjective. Like I'm gonna be completely honest, when it came down to it, like the art in the one of the books you compare this to, Department of Truth, Martin Simmons is great. I love Martin Simmons art for like covers and stuff like that. But it gets a little too jarring for me sometimes. And even Jock is kind of similar, right? I think Jock has awesome
Yeah.
covers. When I'm reading a book, sometimes it can be a little too much for me. I think books like Witches, his art fits perfectly, but like
Mhm.
him on other stuff sometimes doesn't mesh for me, right?
Yeah, it's different for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm kinda with you, and I'm not I've been talking to Zach a couple times about coming on the show too, and I wanna do a deep dive, into his stuff because yeah, he's got some cool sounding books out there that I wanna read, and what I've read from him is really great.
And this is it. I think I know a lot of people like that Metal Society book. I think Dan Piercy was in here at one point and he gave it pretty good. Oh, we got Manny the Hobgoblin Collector.
What's
Hey,
up,
thank you
Manny?
for joining us. And yeah, but dude, yeah, I don't know. Now you got to rate it, dude.
I gotta
And
rate it, I gotta
and you got to feel bad because I don't think that you're gonna get as close to me as you thought.
No, like, but it's up there. I'm gonna go hmm. Some of the pacing, it struggles every now and then. It get and it but you it's a necessary evil, um, to get bogged into the world, like, kinda like there's just a lot there's some, like, tech chat and businessy stuff and with some of the dialogue, and it messes with some like, the pacing really hits, like, after issue 3, like, the pacing kinda changes and, like, like big things start to when big things start to happen. So I guess because of just that minor structural complaint, I'm gonna go a 4.74. 4.74.
I think that that might be the highest you've rated a book. This is definitely the highest I've rated a book.
I might have done a 4.8 before, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I
But
think
this is up there. Like it's a great book.
4.69 was the highest that I've done before this.
Okay.
So just because
Yeah.
that was kind of the term that I gave to books that I really liked.
Yeah,
Most artists,
it's a
yeah.
cool yeah, but yeah, some is yeah, universally despised. We hear about it. But I don't think this is that at all.
Yeah.
I
I
think
mean,
this
it's
art is gorgeous. And the
it
colors too. The colors are very very impressive. And like I said, just kind of like hypnotic and relaxing, and when you read this book, you'll realize how powerful that to have the art produce that same feeling that the story is providing their fictional subscribers. Like
yeah.
it's a fucking mind trip, man. It's so weird that this wasn't called Mind Trip. Like, right? Like my mindset is different and I guess maybe sticks out a little bit, but like I will forever almost call this book Mind Trip almost every time because it's just that's like it's the cerebral thing that it produces. And I don't know, it's like it's an interesting title choice, I
And I
guess.
know too, the hard thing is that these first 4 pages don't it gives you an idea of what the art does, but it doesn't give you the
Those are
full.
normal. Like
Yeah,
those are
these are n
basic. Yeah, those are
yeah.
basic pages of, and then
I mean,
once
this
shit
kinda
gets
does it at
real,
that corner where you see the guy kind
yeah,
of breaking the actual panel.
yeah.
Like, that's kind of how this book moves, right? You're just in this weird thing where you don't really know what's going on. We got, like, about a minute left. I'm gonna let this go for maybe, like, 30 more seconds, so if you haven't put in mindset, make sure you do that. The one thing I will say is that I usually get most of the I think I'm getting this from Vault. I don't know that Vault ships outside of the US, so if that is a thing, we might have to. If you're outside, maybe we'll either pick a prize tag. I'll probably send you some stickers or something else. I still have to send some to Andrew Kai. I've gotten behind on stuff that I actually have to send out that I don't order from websites because I'm lazy and shipping is hard for me. But you guys will get that. And the ones that have won stuff for TKO books, you're probably going to get it later, and you'll probably have some extra books in there. So sorry. And hey, I'm gonna
Hey,
go.
you're getting free comics,
Yeah, you're
right?
good for
It's
comics. So we're rolling this. And hey, thank you, Old Wolf, for saying that. And hey, J80 Hobbies, what's going on? Yeah, I love the art. And I think it just gets kind of to this point where it kind of does some stuff. So hey, congratulations, Flash
Flash
Ray.
Ray.
How you doing? Good job. Yeah, hit me up. I think I have your address, but just do it again. do you have to be in the right mindset to
It'll
read
get
this
you
book?
there if you're not. It'll get you there.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I guess I know the mindset that you're probably talking about. I did not do that in that mindset, and I think that I don't know. I think that you could. I mean, it's one of those things that I think this book can be indulged in almost any sort of mindset, and I think that it's great. Yeah, yeah, and hit me up too. Anyone that is interested in some of these stickers, I can probably get those out. The issue that I did is so I created these other stickers, and by I created them, I'm just gonna I'll show them off here real quick.
Let me just
Chop and
move.
Drop,
Let me
actually.
just move these fancy Jenny Freisen beautiful
So
deals out of the way that I got
I
over
got
the
some of
weekend.
these. These are the for those. Oh, also I probably can stop sharing screen. I got some of these of my little Batman from the Shopverse.
Nice.
So I've got a ton of these. So I know that I said that I wasn't going to send any till I sent them to Shop first, and I went to send him them the other day, and I realized I didn't have envelopes, so I bought more envelopes from Amazon, and those are coming soon. So when I do that, make sure you guys hit me up if you're interested in those. And we got some of these Blake and Cole
Look at that.
stickers too. So
Yeah, cool guy.
and yeah, if you live outside of the country too, feel free to hit me up because you do normally buy the international postage stamps because those are only like $1.25. So if I can send those, and usually I try and if I have other community member stickers and stuff, I try and send those out to people in the UK. So once again, yeah.
At flash rate and enhanced reading, will it will also make this book a lot crazier.
Yeah. Yeah. Which so yeah, Gary Woods. So that might answer your question, I think, that you had about the mindset for this. But yeah, I love this book. I can't praise this book enough. I would say, hey, if you have the opportunity to get this book comes out tomorrow. This is like the first episode. It took us an hour before we mentioned it. This book comes out tomorrow. It should be in your comic shop. Some comic shops might have released it last week. So yeah, if you see this, I would highly recommend getting it. All the covers are great. There isn't a ton of
Walt makes nice
extra.
trades too.
There isn't a ton of extra in here, but this book hit a ton of covers. There's a Jacob Phillips cover. There's a Martin Simon cover, who I mentioned earlier. I think there's a Lena Kangas cover. There are a ton of great covers. And yeah, I'd say get it. Yeah. And collect. So that's the thing. I definitely have discontinued stickers. Most of the times when I get stickers, I don't remake the same set of stickers. Just so each of them are kind of their own limited thing. But hey, I can probably get you guys some. So yeah, hit me up on Instagram. It's down below. Blake's stuff, I don't have his link tree down there, but I have a link to his thing. You can go find that in there. Blake, you got anything big coming up? We got a ton of
Yeah.
people in here still. Yeah, why don't you talk about it? Because you've got somebody pretty big coming on your show. I think this Friday, right?
This Friday, ladies and gentlemen, Marvel's new Daredevil writer, Mr. Saladin Ahmed, is going to be on Blake's Bus putting up with my bullshit. I'm so excited. He wants to talk more about his indie stuff, so I'm going to focus on his indie stuff, but there's no way I'm not going to leave that conversation without bringing up he's got some iconic Marvel stuff like Black Bolt, Miss Winnie. And what's cool about him is he took over these huge passion projects from two writer icons of mine, Bendis and the Miles Morales run. Like he picked that up after, and that was like Bendis put his everything into that, and it was such a beautiful comic book experience. And he picked that up and did well with it. And then G. Willow Wilson, like with Miss Marvel, like made this beautiful comic book experience that was like cultural and vibrant and so incredibly heartwarming and took America by storm, right? Like everybody fell in love with Kamala Khan. He picked that up after G. Willow Wilson and did another good job. And he did a great job with Black Bolt. And now he's gonna go to Hell's Kitchen, and I have no doubts in my mind that he's gonna slay the game. Yeah, I'm so excited to talk to him. 8 Eastern, if you guys want to tune in live, or of course it'll be on the channel afterwards if you can't make it. But I'm so excited, and he's just he seems like a cool dude. I'm stoked to talk to him.
Yeah, and hey, congratulations, because that's a huge interview. I'm excited to hear what it is. I'll probably be there at least for some of it. That's right around bedtime. Friday nights, though, sometimes we let the kids stay up a little bit later. So maybe Hazel will be watching a movie and I'll be watching it on my phone or maybe my 10.5-inch tablet. Hey, I've been Cole. He's been Blake. Also, yeah, here's Blake's Instagram. So go over there and give him a sub up if you guys haven't already.
Yeah, thanks.
But yeah, thank you everyone for stopping by. And yeah, we love having you guys. And hey, I hope you guys all check out this book because I wholeheartedly think this is one of the best books we've talked about, and I personally loved it. And I think that most people, if you're kind of here listening to us talk about these books, you will find something that you
Yes.
probably like out of this book. So once again, I've been Cole, he's been Blake,
And tomorrow, real quick,
oh,
hop in your Ford EcoBoost, right? You go drive, get yourself Little Caesars pie, order extra crazy bread, I promise, right? Head over to the comic book shop, right? And if they don't have this at the comic book shop, guess what? That EcoBoost, that's going to save you money on gas when you drive to another comic book shop that might have it. Okay.
and if
So
they
these are
don't have
things-
it,
then
you
you
got to
go
give
to
one breadstick to
Yeah.
every employee in hopes that they will order it the next
Yeah.
time you show up.
Tell them, like, here's some crazy bread, order some fucking Vault comics, you cowards, and then get out of there, hop in that EcoBoost again, truck it to another location. You'll find a copy eventually, but this will be a great adventure. All
Yeah.
right. And this
It'll be
episode has been sponsored by Ford, Little Caesars, not Domino's, Vault, and what's that chili?
Skyline chili, straight out
Skyline
of
chili,
Cincinnati.
baby.
All
No
right.
dog should be without it.
And Jenny Frisian.
So we're rolling in it.
All right, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. Peace.
Have a good night.
Oh crap! I almost just left the studio. Just leave instead of ending the broadcast. I almost just left.
I'll
Just
be
Blake
here,
by
like-
himself. Doop a doop. Where'd Cole go? I'm gonna sing the dog theme.